What do you do? TKF here, bringing you guys my first Wi-Fi battle in about 3 to 4 months, I think. I may have uploaded one since then, but this is my first actual battle. So it was against 1Mil456, as you do, one of my good friends. I have a UU team, he has an RU team. Mine's kind of old, so it has some OUs. He didn't mind, so yeah. Anyway, I'm going to lead with my Lotic. He's going to lead with the Yuxi. Not really too sure here what was going on. I didn't really want to stay in because I didn't want to get toxic. At the same time, I kind of thought he was going to rock, and that would have been a waste. But turns out going into that swag was a good idea because he's a ninja and he avoids the toxic, but not the second one, which is kind of sad. But in either case, I'm going to get my rocks here, and now I'm going to go to Ice Shard here because I kind of thought Crustal was going to come in. I didn't want to EQ in case he did stay in, and I knew that there's a possibility that he might want to rocks. So I just went for the Ice Shard. He actually turns out to rocks, which is fine, you know, I kind of thought that was going to happen anyway. So he gets his rocks up, I get an Ice Shard off, which does nothing, and I take more toxic damage, so yeah. That was a bad move on my part. Anyway, I'm going to withdraw now and go out into my Umbreon. Now, I actually predict this toxic here, which is a really nice play on my part, because now I actually managed to get the Synchronize going. I get the toxic shifted onto this Yuxi here, which is great. As you'll see later on, that actually does help me out. So that was a good play on my part. Now I know he's most likely going to want to switch because he's not really going to want to take a payback from me or anything of that kind of sort. But I believe I'm actually going to go for it anyway because I'm an idiot. And it was my first battle in ages, and you know I didn't really want to play too aggressively, I guess. Or do I go for the toxic predicting something? I don't know. Yeah, I go for the toxic predicting that big switch. Sweet. So I'm going to hit that Scyther anyway, which is great. And he makes what seems now like a very questionable play. I don't really know what to do in this situation. I know I want to switch, and I've got to switch into something that obviously Umbreon won't be able to take. So I decided to go into Donphan just to fodder it off, to see what he wants to go for. And he actually goes for the sub. Now this is what I mean, this was kind of questionable. You're toxic and you're subbing. I was thinking, well, maybe he's a Roost set, possibly. I have no idea what was going through my mind at this point. So I'm kind of figuring, hey, maybe an Ice Shard will break the sub. And then I thought, no, it's probably got an Eviolite. I have no idea. And I go for it, and what do you know, it doesn't break the sub. So he's going to Baton Pass, which absolutely sucks for me, and I'm pretty much breaking my pants, as he brings in a Galvantula behind a sub. Now this is kind of scary, because he can do any number of things to me, and they usually tend to carry the energy ball as well, so I was kind of thinking, shit, dip. But I need to break that sub before I do absolutely anything. So I'm going to Ice Shard. It's going to break the sub, obviously, because the sub's already taken one, and that's going to break it. So he goes for the HP. Most likely Ice, seeing as I don't think Galvantula gets any Ice type moves, and it is super effective. It does bring me down quite low. It could be HP Grass though, but then it gets Energy Balls, so that makes no sense. But it brings me down to the point where toxic damage is going to kill me off this turn, which is fine. Now that does enable me to bring in Tony, that big Flygon, and it does give me the opportunity to go for the Rock Slide. And I believe I go for that as he switches in his Scyther as Death Fodder. Now, I seriously considered double switching here, thinking that he was going to do this. But at the same time, I kind of figured, you know, if I do that and that doesn't happen, that would have just worked out bad. So I just decided to play it safe. And what do you know? So Electivire comes in now. I want to switch. Painfully obvious switch, I thought. Really not sure why he didn't go for the Wild Charge or T-Bolt or T-Punch or whatever he has. He just goes for the Ice Punch to play it safe, maybe thinking that I thought I could take him out, but no, I'm Scarfed, so I'm locked into Rock Slide, and even though an Earthquake would have taken out, that would have been a bad idea. Now here I want a safe switch, so I decided to just fodder my Melodic. Probably not the best move that I could have made, but at the same time, you know, it still allows me to bring in Amir Khan, so that's all good. So in comes Amir. Now he's going to make a switch here and go out into his Yuxi, as I figured. But at the same time, you know, what do you really want me to do? There's nothing I can do. Even if I did predict that, I have nothing on this set to be able to show that prediction. So I just have to hit it with a Drain Punch. And any damage is good damage, to be honest, because it's toxic. So, you know, that's going to be doing damage. You know, residual damage is good. So I thought I'd get that Stab Drain Punch off as well. So now I'm going to go out into Umbreon, knowing that there's probably nothing that he can do to me. And if anything, he's probably just going to Toxic. And I'm already Toxic, so, you know, it's fine to Breon. Doesn't make a difference. So, yeah, Umbreon's going to take that pretty damn well, because it didn't do any damage. So anyway, now either he's going to switch or I'm going to switch, because there's nothing that we can do to each other in here apart from I can pay back. So of course he's going to switch, and he decides to go out into Honchkrow. Now, considering I'm sat here and I just said how blatantly obvious it was that I was going to go for the payback, I didn't really think about switching, predicting that. So now there's a Honchkrow in here, and I'm kind of stuffed. So I can A, try and attack it, which will do nothing, or B, I can set up a wish, or I can try and toxic it. But I was very scared of the sub at this point, so I actually decided to go for the wish. Now here was a play that nearly cost me the match, and you'll see later on, this really was a bad play on my part. Now I kind of thought here he would predict my protect, so I switch out into Tony, and you guys will see just how damn close this actually is. He goes for the Brave Bird, and it brings me down to 1 HP. If that Flygon would have died right there, that would have been the game. There was no way I could have come back from that. He would have won, definitely. So thankful to the Hacks gods, or the min-max variation gods, that I lived that. And of course I'm Scarf, so I'm able to take him out with the Rock Slide. Now, judging by how he didn't, predict my Protect or anything, that tells me that he's Scarfed. So kind of lucky I outsped him as well. But Flygon is leaps and bounds faster. So now I'm going to go into Umbreon just to see what he wants to go for. And he goes for the Shell Smash. And this was disgusting. And right here, this was also a very vital play. If he'd have chosen to attack me here, he would have won the match. But he doesn't. And what this allows me to do, thanks to lefties, is live another turn of Toxic damage. Which means I'm actually going to be able to get off a Toxic. And that is absolutely vital. As you guys will see again later on in this match. It's actually almost at an end already. But now that I go for the Toxic this turn, thankfully it's going to hit. I haven't seen an item yet, so I'm also quite scared. But, yeah, anyway, I was kind of thinking the worst it could be is a speed boosting thing. If it's not, then that's fine. So, I get the Toxic off, like I said. I'm going to die to Toxic damage this turn, which kind of sucks. So, now my last hope is to bring in this. Bring in a Mircon. Go for that Iron Fist, Life Orb, Stab, whatever else, Mach Punch. And it almost takes it down. And he gets a Lychee Berry attack boost here. He's going to take me out with the Earthquake, obviously. But as you will see, it is the Toxic damage and the Toxic damage alone which takes him out this turn. If it wasn't for that, then I would have lost this match. So I was really unlucky for him. Now I can just bring in Tony and, out like a boss. And in comes Yuxi. I'm going to be able to take this thing out if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm actually going to U-turn. And because it's Yuxi, of course, it lives, which is really annoying. So now I'm going to have to go to Rihanna, fodder off Rihanna, which is not what I want to do, because I kind of thought this would be, useful. So I go into Rihanna here. He's going to go for the Memento, which is a really good play on his part. Celebi might have been a little bit more useful to me had he not done that. But at the same time, I guess it really would have just ended up, the same way. So he gets that Memento off. Obviously, I get my special attack and what else lowered. He brings in Electivire. Now, I know I can take any one hit from this thing, barring a 4x super effective move, which I really don't see happening. So he goes for the Flamethrower. I do take it because I believe I'm a slightly more bulky build. And I go for the Leaf Storm now. It is my strongest move, really. And yeah, I know, Leaf Storm on a defensive set, don't ask. It was kind of original 4 months ago. So that is going to be enough to take him out, even after the Memento, which is absolutely great. And now he's going to go into his last, which is Galvantula. Obviously, he's going to take me out with that Bug Buzz. There's nothing I could do about that. And really, I was just fearing the Scarf here. If he was Scarfed, then it would have been very, very, very scary. So, anyway, I'm going to go to Flygon now. He might have revealed items later on or whatever, or just now when I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, I'm going to bring in Flygon, and I'm going to go for that Outrage, outspeed him, and take him out. So that was an absolutely awesome match, 1Mil. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then, please leave comments. Please click those annotations at the top of the screen, guys. Please visit my channel. I cannot tell you how much that will help me out. And other than that, hopefully I'll be bringing you guys some more Wifi battles soon, and I'll catch you guys next time.